So rather than taking someone and directing them with how to work their recovery, we become accountability partners, working with them to develop their own resources and their own personal strengths that are going to be really supportive for them, knowing what resonates with them, knowing what will help them move forward and grow as an individual in recovery. Where treatment looks at what got us into addiction, what put us into the place where we're misusing or abusing substances, recovery and wellness is very focused on, we know where we are, but now we want to start moving forward. We want to build our careers, we want to build our relationships, we want to get to know ourselves a whole lot better, because often what happens in active addiction is we get lost. We lose sight of who we are, we lose sight of the things that are important to us. So whereas in addiction, heroin, crack, alcohol might be a huge part of our value systems, what happens when we get into recovery and often post-treatment is we really have to search and find the things that are important to us, the things that we value, and the things that get us out of bed in the morning. So when we talk about recovery capital, we all have different recovery capital. So when we look at something like social recovery capital, that could be developing relationships with friends, family, maybe a church group, a sports group, taking up a hobby, and really reintegrating yourself socially into life. Whereas physical recovery capital focuses on things like sleep and health and maybe gym and exercise. The important thing around recovery capital is that it's different for everybody. So whereas my emotional recovery capital might be about reading, personal development, and spiritual growth, your recovery capital with regards to emotional might be spending time in the fellowship, working the 12-step program, or even spending time with a therapist to help you grow emotionally. And also look at how we grow and develop mentally once we're in recovery. So for some people that means spending time reading or learning, going back to school. For other people it might be learning a new skill, upskilling in a more hands-on kind of way. So again, the big emphasis on recovery capital is that it is completely different for everyone. And there's no mandate to say these are the things you have to do to build up your resources. We do find with a lot of people that some sort of faith-based organization does come into play. But again, we're dealing with people from so many different faiths and cultures that it's the individual's decision as to how they build up these resources and what's available, because obviously what is available to me is not necessarily the same sort of thing that's available to someone else. So I might have the financial resources to go back to school, whereas another person might have to join a community-based learning organization. And our job as coaches in recovery and wellness is to support people and help them develop and grow those resources and find what it is that feeds their soul. Because we often start out in recovery so empty and so lost that it's like giving up your best friend. You have this huge void inside of you, and it's really about starting to find those things, those recovery capital resources that are going to feed your soul and help you move forward and grow as a person. It's not about focusing on the addiction, it's about focusing on the recovery. So who are you? You're not just an addict, you're not just an alcoholic. You might be a mother or a child or a parent, a spouse, a sister, a business person. There's so many facets to what everybody is that we want to help people to develop all those unique individual bits within themselves to become the most that they can become. And while we support them in this journey, we form an accountability partnership where we ask our clients to be accountable to themselves and thereby be accountable to us. But everything is client-driven. solutions driven and forward focused. It's not about going back to what brought us here. It's about choosing where we are and how we want to move forward. And that's the great beauty of recovery coaching and wellness, is that we don't have to live in the past. We can reinvent ourselves, start again, and really create the kind of life and existence that we want to have.